Hi, my name is Daniel Rosel and welcome to AfterAliyah.com. I wanted to record this message, this video, I should say, to basically just introduce the website. If you're watching this video, you are probably on the website. I'm going to be posting it to AfterAliyah.com. I'm going to be posting it to YouTube, to our Facebook page. And the purpose of me doing this is I just want to introduce a project, explain a little bit about what the website's about, what the objective is, what the type of content being shared on the website is going to be. So basically, I made Aliyah to Israel about 6 years ago. I'm originally from Ireland, and I've been living in Jerusalem more or less the whole time since I've been here in Israel. I am passionate about After Aliyah, and that's not coincidental that that's the domain name about helping people who are already in Israel to get access to good information that will help them to succeed and stay in Israel. So I've been writing articles about Israel for a number of years, and my day job is as a freelance writer. So that's what I do on a day-to-day basis. But these were articles I've been writing basically for fun or for passion as a hobby, posting them on Medium, talking about how to do really practical things. So the reason I started this website is, I mean, the immediate driver was the fact that I thought I'm kind of technically inclined, and I thought that it's a pity to have these just on a Medium publication. I set up a Medium page called Living in Israel, and it was starting to get followers. I thought this material could be housed better, something more central, something that could make it easier to support multiple authors. So I migrated this content I had already written onto this domain name, and that is basically what AfterAliyah.com is. And now I'm no longer posting these articles onto Medium; I'm posting them onto After Aliyah. So basically, the purpose of this website really is to share information about living in Israel. So I'm just anticipating that people might be skeptical and saying, well, what about Janglo? What about Israel B? What about AngloList? Firstly, this isn't a commercial entity, so I'm less concerned about creating something that's 100% original and has never been done. But that aside, the unique angle that I wanted to uh, drive with this website um, was something purely focused on information and on helping those people already in Israel. Everything to do with living in Israel, from my perspective, is fair game. But that's the dividing line. There's not going to be content slash information there about pre-Aliyah, i.e., about encouraging people to move to Israel. Another differentiator that I want to make sure is adhered to is that there's no slant to the website. So something I kind of feel is missing when it comes to conversations about Israel and life in Israel, at least those happening in English, is I find that there's this very empty middle ground between, on the one hand, people who, let's just say, shut down critical conversations about life in Israel, stuff like the cost of living, uh, more the cost of property. I actually think is a much bigger issue because the cost of living, uh, I predict, will normalize, and there's certainly a bit of a mismatch in Israel for a lot of people outside of the top paying high tech jobs between cost of living and salary, but the cost of property is become a very big issue. So I think on the one hand you have people that are kind of so into the idea of promoting Israel and Hasbara and everything has to be great and rosy that we can't talk about these things. And I'm not just talking about people, I'm talking also about organizations, I'm talking about publications. On the other hand, you have people that, everything in Israel is bad. So I feel like there was this missing middle ground between people that just want to talk, have a open discussion about living in Israel. And that's why I added sections in After Aliyah, not just for guides, which is intended as clearly practical info, but also for blogs, for people that want to share perspectives. So this is an open invitation to those who have what to contribute, as they say in Hebrewish, that have perspectives to contribute about making a life in Israel, and the kind of perspectives I would be really interested in hearing, and I think sharing with this audience that I'm trying to develop around this website would be, stuff that hasn't been written about a million times. So, interesting employment trajectories that English speakers are not really typically thinking about. Interesting places to live in Israel that isn't Tel Aviv and Jerusalem, and how much is just property cost there? How much does rent cost there? What are the actual challenges to living in a peripheral community? Those kind of things. So that's the kind of philosophy and purpose of the website. In terms of what I envision for it, so right now it's unfortunately just me. The blogs I have previously written, the things I'm adding. It would be cool to get other people contributing, but unfortunately, as a not-for-profit, I can't envision there being any monetization with which to compensate writers. So I don't want to push that angle too much, because as a writer, I realize how annoying people asking people to write for free is. But if you do happen to have a lot of time on your hands, or you just really like the mission I'm describing, then feel free to send in content, just so long as it fits in with that kind of paradigm I've described, focusing on creating and sharing really valuable info for Olim. Right now, there's only English. I think it would be brilliant to add French, to add Russian, and to add Amharic as well for Ethiopian. So I'd like to actually expand into that. What else is there on After Aliyah? There is YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. There is a podcast available through Spotify and all the major podcatchers, and there is content on the website going out to social. So that's where the project is now, and I look forward to growing it. So if you're interested in the site, you like what is being publicized on it at this early stage that I'm recording this video, it would certainly be really helpful to share the content on Facebook groups. Particularly are really popular here amongst English speakers. Just tell your friends and spread the word. It's a pity to write stuff that nobody reads, and I've been encouraged so far by the analytics reports I'm seeing that actually there is quite decent traction and interest in the website. So that's really cool. So I'm just going to leave it at that. Thank you for watching this video explaining what AfterAliyah.com is all about, why I started it, a little tiny snippet about me. And if you have any feedback, reach out through the website. There is a contact page there, and my personal the way to reach me through this for this project is daniel@afteraliyah.com. And until next time, thanks for watching.